What's up, guys? It's time for another Tiger Friday here at the Tiger Channel. It's your boy, the Tiger, here on January 10th, 2020. That's right, it's a new decade, and we are going to celebrate it right. As you guys probably already noticed, there's no co-host with me tonight. His schedule did not coincide with ours, and hopefully he'll be back in the future as a co-host, but you never know. Change is always good. So we're going to start off with a little bit of a freestyle episode because the holidays was a little long and a little rough for us. It's been a while since we've seen you guys. We took some time off to spend the holidays with our friends and family because what our friends is second family. So we celebrated with just the people in our personal lives and decided to come back to YouTube this Friday. So we're going to start off with some sports because it's a freestyle episode, so I get to choose what I get to do. Hey. But we're going to start off with the Patriots loss. Not only did they lose to the Dolphins, which is like a laugh in itself, they lost to the Titans 20-13. Y'all didn't even get 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals. Come on now. You guys are better than that. I don't like you, and I know you're better than that. But Tom Brady did post out on his Instagram that he is not retiring, that he will be playing next year. The Patriots franchise tag is not on Tom Brady. He actually has no contract. He comes back as an unrestricted free agent, I think is what the term was that I saw on there. So he said to look in the arena, that's where he'll be. He did not say that he'll be at Gillette Stadium, but I'm pretty sure he will be because that's, Tom Brady's home. Moving on in sports, because it's playoff time, the Eagles, my Eagles, my boys, they're out of it. They lost to the Seattle Seahawks, which is making my camera woman smile ear to ear because she is from Washington State. The Eagles lost to the Seahawks 17-9. Maybe if they would have kept, their second string quarterback that took them to the Super Bowl, might have got somewhere.
In our defense, Seattle did go to the Super Bowl 3 years ago? 4 years ago?
And Seattle also lost by throwing an interception on the 1-yard line when you had a running back that averaged 5 yards a run.
Don't look at me. All I know is that we went to won the Super Bowl.
The Texans beat the Bills 22-19. That sounds like a really good game. I did not watch it, mainly because I was watching a lot of other things this week. But the Texans did beat the Bills 22-19. Congratulations to Texans. Good luck. Moving on, the Vikings with a win over the Saints 26-20. I watched a little bit of that game. And also, there's been a rumor about Drew Brees not being the quarterback for the Saints next year. So, I haven't got the research on that. Next week I'll have a little bit of research on that. We'll dive a little more in depth over the NFL next week. Not too much, of course, that because I'll get to that here in a little bit about next week on our channel. High school sports, because you guys know I cover it. Might as well talk about it. Let's dive into high school basketball. Starting off with the Bethel Tate Lady Tigers. They beat Western Brown. Don't quote me on the score because I don't know it right off the top of my head. I do a lot of games. Then they lost to Turpin. It was 46-45 lost to Turpin. That was a close game. And I can look up the Western Brown score for you guys because it's on my cellular device over here. We'll get to that here in a second. Here, I'll pull it up. Move that Sharpie out of the way. While we're talking about that, the girls also beat East Clinton. That was a very good game. If you didn't get to come out to any of the Bethel games or you're a Bethel fan, you missed out on a really interesting weekend, to say the least. Friday night, the boys lost to C&E, but I will say this about the boys on C&E. There's a player for the C&E Rockets. His name is Skylar Schmidt. He's averaging, I think, 34 points a game, if I'm not mistaken. He needed 29 points to break the school record for the most points of a career, something along those lines. Bethel did not let him get that. That is huge. That is a defensive stand on Bethel in that game. Yeah, you didn't win the game, but you made a statement by saying this boy that's averaging over 30 points could not get 29 points in our house. And I will stand behind any team that can do that to that magnitude. On top of that, the boys lost a very close game to Norwood. One of the things that hurt them, which I haven't really put it out as an injury report on Twitter yet, is the loss of Kyle Smith due to an ankle injury. You know, when you ain't got your big boy down low to rebound the ball, and you know he ain't there to help you out down low, it hurts a team a lot. So, you know, best of luck to Kyle Smith. Hope you have fast healing. And I hope to see you back out there shortly. The final score of the Norwood game, because my Twitter finally uploaded, the boys fell to the Norwood Indians 53-42. That score does not depict how the game went. The game was close all the way through. I mean, at the end of the first, it was 10-5. Norwood with the lead. At halftime, Norwood had the lead 24-22. That's a basket, folks. That's a 2-point basket in between the teams at halftime. At the end of the third, it was 39-35. That is 4 points separating them and going into the final quarter. That depicts how they played. But, you know, towards the end of the game, you start fouling the other team to stop the clock. They go to the line. Norwood, congratulations, a really good job on the line of foul shots. You guys did a really good job. Moving on past that, the final score of the Lady Tigers defeating the Lady Astros 74-28. Tigers. You know, next year will probably be a rebuild stage. East Clinton also in a rebuild stage themselves. And then, of course, the Lady Spartans beat us 46-45. And then the Bethel Tate score of C&E final score is Rockets 70, Tigers 54. So there's the update on that. Also, check out the Twitter, Voice of the Tigers. Also the same thing on Instagram. Check us out. It will have all of the high school games I cover. Also cover UC Claremont sports. The UC Claremont girls did win their game. I do not have a score for you guys because my Twitter is mainly for Bethel Sports. But I'll try to document the UC Claremont games as well for later stuff. Now it's time. Let's move out of sports and let's move into world topics. Actually, quick PS on the sports. Saturday is a very huge game for the UC Claremont Lady Cougars basketball team. They have a team coming in from New York on Saturday. Tip-off is at 3 o'clock, I do believe. Be there. This is going to be a huge game for both teams. It really will show where the Lady Cougars stand and the possibility of a postseason. I'm probably even going to tweet that game out because it is a really big game. I might just put like in the description on my Twitter or something that I also cover UC Claremont girls because I do announce their games. Might as well, talk about it. Moving on to world topics. It's been busy in the world and also in the world of military and possible war. Iran and the USA, for lack of better words, have been kind of in a whose muscles are bigger match, and Iran has decided to back off. They did a missile strike on our bases. It came out that it looked like the intent was to dodge U.S. deaths, but to make a statement. But in the long run, I think America made more of a statement and decided to they decided to back off. On top of that, 20 Australian police. Now, I think they're called something else over there, like police or something like that. But Australian police have determined that there are 24 men that are responsible for setting the bushfires that then turned into wildfires over in Australia. And it was from what I hear, they're pretty devastated fires. It burned up a lot of the countryside and some homes, I do believe.
I was gonna say, I think it killed 130,000 animals.
Yeah, so this is a pretty devastating fire, and 24 men are responsible. Well, 24 people. You know, we don't know if they were exactly men or women, because women can be just as evil. I learned that this week. I watched ID channel with my mother on a show called Deadly Women. I'm going to sleep with one eye open from here on out, okay? And there's some evil things out there. But 24 people responsible for setting those fires. I hope that justice is served to those people. It doesn't bring the animals back, but, you know, I'm a fan of you should get punished for what you did by what you did, so we should set them on fire. Just simple as that. I mean, I think if you're going to do a crime, you should have to suffer what the victim suffered. I mean, if you're evil enough to do that to an animal or a person, then you're evil enough to feel the same thing. But, of course, you know, not only do we have legal justice down here, but when they pass on, they will pay for their crimes, because I do believe in Jesus and heaven and hell, and, well, they will get what they deserve. Past that, because let's get in some positive stuff. Bluetooth is getting a major upgrade, one of the biggest upgrades in 20 years. Higher quality audio. They're going to have multi-equipment connection. I wrote this on marker, folks. Some of it's smeared together on me there. And they're going to upgrade hearing aids. Yeah. You have no problem with that, though, do you, pups? Nope. Also, another big thing in the world is a $13 billion solar park that's being ran from Dubai, built in Dubai. It's already built. The camera lady in the back with the facts.
I believe it's already built, or they're starting to build it.
Something along those lines. Anyways, a $13 billion solar park. That is a lot of solar panels, ladies and gentlemen, but it helps this world keep it as beautiful as we can for as long as we can. On to our next topic, my favorite topic, Kings Island 2020. It's right around the corner, and what's right around the corner with it? Orion the Ride. Ladies and gentlemen, Kings Island finally got a Giga. Alright, some of you out there calling it a baby Giga because it's not 300 foot tall, it's got a 300 foot drop. Whatever it may be, it is still a Giga coaster, and it's still a huge addition to Kings Island. Fans of Kings Island have been asking for a Giga coaster for so long. It may not be what you wanted, but you got one. Enjoy it while you can. It's going to be a fun ride. It goes 91 miles per hour. That is fast enough for me. I'm a fat guy. I'm not meant to go fast. Okay, like slow and low to the ground, but I will ride that ride because it is a very huge step in the right direction for Kings Island. And, you know, who knows, maybe one day they will have a ride that's 400, 500 foot tall. And
that's if the people allow it.
of course, you do have the people complaining behind Kings Island about the sound. But here's my thing. It's an amusement park. It makes billions of dollars to help make your community better. You may not think that you see that money, but let me tell you something. The amount of money that Kings Island receives and the amount of money people put into Kings Island, there's taxes being paid every time somebody buys something at Kings Island. There's always sales tax, which is going straight to your community. So if you don't like it, move. If you were there before they built it, sorry, pal. They cannot be responsible for the roller coasters making noise when people are asking for this stuff. If you look at it, there's like 15 people complaining, and there's hundreds of thousands of people walking into the park enjoying it. Power in the numbers. The sound, we'll try our best to control it, but there's nothing they can really do outside.
Well, I was going to say, don't they do something for the roller coasters to make it sound quieter?
Yes. So Kings Island does participate in a thing that they fill the track with sand. One of my buddies, he not going to release his name because, you know, it's just right to not release it, works for the companies that builds the coasters, and he told me that every coaster that's going to Kings Island that's a steel coaster has been filled with sand. I have heard a coaster without sand in it, ladies and gentlemen. You are lucky with what you're getting. I don't want to ride a coaster without sand in it. It's that loud. Just throwing that out there. So, moving past that, we talked about Orion. So let's talk about the teardown of Vortex. We are losing 2 rides for this one ride. Vortex lived its life, 33 years. And it's going to be interesting seeing the skyline without Vortex next year. So that's going to be a very different view walking in. As y'all know, I worked at Kings Island this year. I'm going to work there next year, but I'm doing weekends only. I'm gonna cut down my time there a little bit as an employee, but definitely gonna go and enjoy some time. Also, since we're talking about Kings Island, the 48-year mark is this year. We are 2 years away from 50 years, ladies and gentlemen. 2 years. That's huge. I'm ready for that. With the building of Orion, the poster had the blue racer going backwards. So that's a possibility. We could see the backwards racer come back. I weigh that as more of a possibility than not a possibility, because if you look in the history, the red racer was the one that went backwards. So why would they put the blue racer going backwards in the poster if they weren't going to do it? It is a possibility. So, also, the new addition, I think they started it last year, but it's still kind of new to the system, is the Pass Perks reward program with gold and platinum pass holders. I think it depends on how many times you visit in the year. You get maybe a free fast lane for a day, or free single day meal plan for a day, stuff like that. So it's definitely a good program for Kings Island's pass members. Kings Island's always looking to bring something new for passes and bring something new for the people who make Kings Island like a second, home for themselves. So just keep an eye on Kings Island's website for other new things that are coming in the near future. Once they release newer stuff to the public, I won't be the first channel to release it, but it definitely will keep you guys up to date on that. Now it's time to talk about the channel and possible other channels in the near future. As you guys know, there is no co-host today. Like I said, his schedule just didn't coincide with ours today. Hopefully he will be back. There is a special guest that I'm going to be having here in the near future. That is my buddy Paco. I guess we'll call him a parrot. We'll give him a parrot name. I don't know. We'll let him decide his animal name.
I like that though, Paco the parrot.
Paco the parrot. You missed it in the summer, guys. We had a taco for Paco party when he came back home from Louisiana. A lot of people like to play on words on that one for me. It was a fun time. He's a good friend of mine. He worked with me there for a while. I never expected a friendship to form there, but when you work with somebody and you see them almost every day to every other day of your life, you really get to learn that person. Sorry about the yawning, ladies and gentlemen. That came out of nowhere. I blame the camera woman. She looked at me weird and I yawned. Coaster Jungle. Will it happen? As of right now, yes. If it's just me, it's just me. If it's not, it's not. The Coaster Jungle will be filmed at amusement parks, some studio segments. The person behind the camera also worked at Kings Island, so she'll be there with me for the most part in Coaster Jungle. I will get her on camera every now and then. There's some rides that my big fat patootie can't fit on that we can film her getting on it, and she can tell us what it's like. Mainly the kiddie rides, because she's short enough. I'm not. She was an elf for Winterfest, if that tells you how short she is. But
Okay, there is people taller than you that were elves. Okay, you.
Remember the message of peace and positivity over there. Okay, you're supposed to be nice to everybody.
You weren't being nice to me.
Coastal Jungle will happen. I don't know if Kenny will be with us. He might not. Of course, he's got his channel of Tri-State Coasters. He's not the original Tri-State Coasters, though. I just found that out. So make sure you give both of them a look, since we've been shouting out somebody else's channel as well on here. But yeah, Tri-State Coasters, they're all over the place. You know, give a look at them if you like roller coasters and stuff. That's also on my channel as well. Now, the big channel update that I gotta throw out here. As I mentioned before in the beginning, I am the voice of the Tigers, and as y'all could tell during the sports segment that I did, I'm into sports. Well, guess what? It's only gonna get bigger and better, because next fall, premiering in 2020, in about September, maybe August. I think the first game's in August. So premiering August of 2020. Keep an eye out for commercials and whatnot on here. Is The Voice having a YouTube channel? It will cover all Bethel sports that I cover. If I hear stuff about other sports that I don't cover from Bethel, I'll give a shout out to them. Also, the huge part of it all is he will also talk about high school sports and get them the recognition they deserve. You know, when people talk about sports on TV, it's college or pros. College or pros. Well, the high school athletes are the future college and pros. And if you don't start giving them recognition before they get there, there can be such a thing as a fame shock, where they get shocked from all the fame of being a college athlete that they don't, you know, they're not prepared for. The Voice YouTube channel will also cover the women's UC Claremont Cougars. I cover their games too, and I'll even talk about the boys Claremont and talk about UC Claremont soccer, because I just found out that they are 2-time national champs. They won it twice in a row. Congratulations to them. Other than that, I guess this is where I do my final statements. I guess the episode is done. I don't know what to do with these papers now. I know the late show they just kind of woo. So we'll do that. I gotta clean up my studio anyways. But thanks for joining us on the Tiger Channel again. Sorry that we took such a long break for the holidays. We are back. We are here, and we ain't going anywhere. That's Thorn. I guess she's my co-host for today. She's chewing on a glove. Get that glove, girl. Scrappy's on the camera woman's chest. My name is Brian the Tiger. Ladies and gentlemen, all topics are now completed. I hope you enjoyed your time with us today, and wish you all a safe and happy Friday. Enjoy the weekend. Friday night tonight, I will be at Blanchester for boys basketball, so watch the Twitter. Also, don't forget to check out Snapchat, TheTiger8073, for live, unfiltered snaps of my goofy self, the Tiger. Also, if you pay attention, you might get a couple of pictures of the camera woman. You know, I might sneak 1 or 2 in there.
Or I can hack it again.
Or she can hack it again. I hacked her Snapchat a while back, so turnabout's fair play, I do assume. But have a safe and happy weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Out.